All right, good morning, everybody. I'm Rosie Roppel, and I'm your public image, and I'm going to say public relations teacher too, because your public image does come from what you do as far as public relation goes. And I want you to know that this is an overview course. As far as you're going to be able to do a lot more when you finish doing the course, but our presentation is a real brief. What are we going to do with a few examples of public relations that people around the district have done? So, public relations is an effort to create favorable public opinion towards Rotary's programs and activities. So that not only goes for your club, but also goes for a district and for Rotary International. Uh, Effective public relations raises a club or district's profile among other Rotarians. Effective public relation raises Rotary's profile within the community and makes it easier for Rotarians to garner non-Rotarian support and raise support for Rotary projects. So this is why we need to do this, and I'm going to get into this in more detail later. Effective public relations helps to dispel myths and misconceptions about Rotary and brings favorable attention to a project as well as a club or district. It attracts quality candidates to the club and becomes a way to reach many potential members who just don't know what Rotary is. And I have a lot of my good friends that still ask me, what's Rotary? Because I'll be wearing my shirt. So anyway, the objective of Rotary's public image plan is to help clubs and districts enhance Rotary's public image in order to grow membership, gain public support, and by assisting clubs to get their name, projects, and good works into their community. So, these are the people that are pretty much instrumental in your Leadership Academy, and I'm the add-on here because I'm doing public image. And Diane is on; she's our Academy Dean, and Harriet is our webmaster. Okay, so
Hello, everybody. This is Diane. I'm just
hi.
excited to have you on here because Rosie's a great presenter, so hopefully you'll get lots out of this.
Thanks, Diane. Okay, so now we're over to the Go to Web Control panel. Take a look at this. I think most of you've done this before, so just mute yourself unless you're going to be talking, and I'm going to have a time for questions and a couple of times when we're going to be doing a breakout. So, all right, topics for discussion. Public Rotary International's public image goals. Why is this important? And I kind of talked about that right now. So I'm trying to move this so I can see. Okay, and then the public image course, what to expect, the assignments, timelines, examples, tips for success, and then we'll have a Q&A at the end with discussion amongst everybody here. Okay, why worry about public image? We need to make an impact locally and globally. Recruit members, yay, membership, you just did that. To help retention of your members, to raise money, make it a little easier, and to collect partners that are non-Rotarians. The public image class goals are to learn between what public image and what PR is, and I'll just say right now, your public image is from the public relations that you send out. And then you need to be able to locate the new branding center, and some of you have already done that, and you've already made your logos. So you can put those up anytime you want. Examine your own club's public image and PR programs. I just said create a club logo, just a minute. See a variety of examples of various campaigns, and they're probably going to come from my camp because that's what I'm familiar with. You will create a campaign, which means an action plan. You're going to create something that's going to go out to the public. It could just go out to your club, but you could put it out to the public. You could put it out to the district. You can send it to Ken because Ken will get it out to the district. And I know he goes further than that. So that's really cool. Okay, the importance of public image. All you need is a picture with some words on it. If you look at this, I took this right off the web. You take a look at this, you know that we're one of the original social networks. You also know we end polio, and we talk a lot about clean water. And I just got through talking with Wayne about that. And so I was telling him that might be a great one that he could do. Okay, Rotary PI snapshot. Why we get the words out. Okay, so because we have 1.2 million members, it's probably gone up, but this was a couple months ago. We have 34,000 clubs approximately. And what do? Club service, community service, vocational service, international service, youth, new gens, and the list goes on. And we have lots of fun and fellowship, and all that needs to get out there. I really enjoy working with the youth, so that's one thing I do a lot of. And I love to take pictures. So if you find somebody in your club that likes to take pictures, get them on with you. Okay, the course components. Obviously, here we are today. You're going to be reading through Open Class. You're going to have discussions on Open Class. You're going to draft a plan, make it usable. You're going to have a pretest sent to you by Diane. And trust me, you probably figured this out already. It's identical to the final test that gets sent from Harriet. And sometimes people have problems trying to find answers on the pretest. You need to get that figured out before you do the final test, because unless you fail it, which you don't want to do, you have to do it over. So, okay, we have public image resources. Obviously, My Rotary. We've been hammering that across the district. There are so many things out there, and I think if you're in this course, you must have a My Rotary account already. You're going to have tools and templates and logos and visual guidelines. My Rotary has member news for media and images. Your projects will be put up there with lots of pictures and talk about how successful it was and how many members you had work on this and how many hours went into it. So, and it's a Pearson educational site. Okay, the course, we have part A and part B. So we have discussion, and you need to do these things in order because they build upon each other and they give you background, and you're not limited to just what they ask you to read. You can actually Google things on your account, on your Google account, and whatever your search engine is, and you can see what the perceptions of Rotary are by the others. Some of these articles might be a little dated because I think in some of our areas where there's been a lot of public relations going on, I think our public image is a little bit more elevated than what some of these articles say. But I know in some areas there are a lot of people that have the old white-haired rich guy mentality, but we know that our clubs are not like that anymore. And then there's Rotary and the local media, how you go about getting that out and making friends, social media and public relations, and how they work together. So there you have a deadline. They're all on your open class, so you don't have to worry about copying any of this down. And this recording will be put up there. Part B, Rotary Club Action, 35 points. So you're going to use the template and the worksheets. And I will tell you that when you're doing these, sometimes you might have to save them in Word. Depends on how the program's working, and you can make copies of them. And if you make a really good club PI planning project, you should save that and present it to your club, because it would be a good thing to get people to take the Leadership Academy in the future, but it also would show them that you know how to do that. So you're going to select a club project or a fundraiser. You're going to develop a public image and media plan, and all of this should be turned in by November 25th. And if you're behind right now, I think, Diane, don't we have December off for catch-up?
Correct. That's kind of a catch-up month. So just work with your instructors on the areas that you're a little bit behind on and give them a date as to when you're going to complete everything, and that'd be great.
And we know that Rotarians, the best Rotarians, they're in a million things and they have a lot of things to do, and they have rock star jobs. And so we understand all that. So we're kind and flexible, but if you get too far behind, it's going to be hard to catch up. All right, and then we have the pretest I talked about already. Final will be sent on November 30th. The final grades will be issued. As always, if anything comes up, please ask me. Like last year, I had a student say, "Did I ever pass my test?" Well, evidently it didn't pop the grade back to him. So you can always ask me because I can see these things. Okay.
Rosie, just a correction. I think Harriet will probably send the pretest to you.
Oh, oh, okay.
So I think maybe you didn't change my name when I was teaching this course, so
Oh,
I didn't catch that.
okay. I don't know. I thought my
So
name.
just a clarification.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Well, you'll get one. If you don't get one, call me. All right, here are the timelines. Okay, let's go on to tips for success. Don't wait till the last minute. When I took the Leadership Academy, I thought I can rip this out in 2 days. Well, guess what? It wasn't like that. And I didn't have a group to collaborate with. Michelle O'Brien and I were taking this together, and we were our own little people, and we figured out we needed to start earlier. And the other thing is you don't have to absolutely read everything. What we're trying to teach you is how to use my Rotary and the Rotary sites and how to Google up questions so that you can find these answers. And it's very, very important. Like when I became president, it was so helpful for me to figure out where to find things. And so that's that. So, guidelines for effective PI, institute a process, form a specific plan, evaluate progress, and update regularly, and make it usable for your club. And it seems like I'm repeating this a lot, but basically you have to have a plan and you have to update it. And as you go through this course, you're going to say, wow, I can change this. You just go back in and fix it. So keep a copy. Okay, the importance of the wheel. This is the new branding as of last year, and make sure that you get this wheel. There's a lot of different colors that you can use, but they're solid colors. They're not mixed up colors. So, and they also have one in the branding center that is translucent, where you can actually put it over a picture, and the picture comes through the rotary wheel. And so when you get into that branding center, if you haven't been there already, there are a lot of good symbols to download. Okay, so this is a little bit of a repeat, so I'm not going to go over that again. Okay, the public image, understanding news and why create news and how you create news. Well, first of all, if you get a great picture, it kind of tells a story on its own, but this picture needs a wheel on it, and it needs a story to go with it. So how do you go about making a story if you're not a person that writes for a newspaper? You have to put down what important information goes first, and then you add additional facts. Then you fill in the background logically and succinctly, and be sure to use the who, what, when, where, and why, and how, and you will have a great article. And you need to have a great topic line, and the newspaper will really help you with this. But if you can learn to get yours written on your own, they won't change your facts and leave things out. So work on that. And then a press release, PSAs, they're public service announcements. So what's the hook? Hey, you want to have a good time? Rotary's having a porcalypse. Make it interesting. Come up with some real crazy names, or you can have a recording of a pig going ree, ree, and then say, what's that? Oh, that's a Rotary apocalypse. So your PSAs are going to have your voices. Get the people with the most interesting voice inflections, etc. I'm not that person, however, so we have other people that do that. And then be sure to say, who did they contact for more? And when does your club meet? Oh, we meet Thursday mornings at Cape Fox at 7 a.m. Come on down for breakfast. We'll buy you breakfast. And, you don't get the whole town, but you get interested people. And then define Rotary. It's a global network of community volunteers, and service above self, and get all that in there for you. Okay, media relations, getting started, actions needed. Okay, you're going to have to get a media list. Like, okay, in Ketchikan, we've got Sit News, which is an electronic radio station, online, it's an online newspaper. We have 3 radio stations. One's public, 2 are paid, but they always bring us in. Keep it current. The names of your newspapers. We have a local paper, and of course you have your Facebook, and you have all your various different webs. Okay, and get to know your local media people. Invite them to your club. Whenever you have something going on, call the newspaper photographer. They always, like when we were tearing out the Rotary beach and draining the pool and scraping it out with backhoes and everything, I called up Hall Anderson. And I said, "Hey Hall, you want to come down and get some pictures? We are doing something really cool." And he goes, "Rose, my day off." I went, "Trust me, it's worth your time." That guy got so much press out of that, and so did we. It was awesome. So, and you yourself take a lot of pictures, and they love to use your pictures. So keep them in high resolution because they like that. So pictures are worth 1,000 words. So this is you can take a look at it, and you can see, if you look way down at the bottom in the blue, you'll see the rotary wheel. And make sure you have your rotary wheel somewhere in all your pictures. Like when we actually created a wheel. Maybe I'll send you a picture of it, but it's clear, and we set it wherever we are. We set it in a place where there's going to be pictures of people, and that is a real big deal when you're doing public relations, because then that gives Rotary, it gives them it's our public image. These are the cool things we do. We also have, notice this guy's got on his shirt Rotaract, and you obviously know what they're doing there. And so media, the traditional one is provide the expert who can answer the questions. Don't bug them too much. Make it count, and have the Rotary Media Kit link available. So basically in your media kit link, you should get in who to contact, what Rotary's about. Like our district governor's coming down here, and I've set him up with 3 different radio stations, and they're all asking me, can you give me some bio and background on Rotary so we can ask good quality questions, and on anybody that's coming. So that's all part of your Rotary Media Kit link, and you can just send that to them. Okay, so social media is a real big deal and fun, and our district PI committee, they really want you to send them things. I've been doing the newsletter. I want to see it too. We want great pictures, great rundowns. We want names of people, and get all that on your Facebook pages. Put your members' names, your club, and your district down, and put them on interesting websites and your club runner, and document a lot of pictures. And so when people go to your club runner, they're going, I want to be part of this. This is so cool. Look at all these cool things they do. And all of your special events, Twitter, blog, podcasts, and YouTube. Our district has a YouTube site, and Ken, maybe you'll talk a little bit about that. He also has a Twitter. He has everything. He's got it, and I try to follow his lead. So, and then make sure you utilize your club's talents to the max. Ask your club, who would like to take pictures? Who's a good writer in here? Who wants to attend this and report back? So you almost have to have your own club news writer. So then if you have a crisis, okay, so this is also public image and public relations, and there's a media crisis packet that you can get. But just keep in mind, if something happens in your club, you have to go to your president first. Your president is a spokesperson. You don't make up things that you think. You only talk about facts. The president needs to be, if it's a serious enough allegation against a member or something that happened in the club, I would go to the district governor. I would also go to RI, and if you don't know how to find those people, your president can go to their assistant governors, district governors, they can go to the governors. But before anything's said to the public, get the facts and always let them know, thank you very much. We're checking into this. We will get back to you. Because if you say no comment, then they think, ooh, there's something weird happening. So this is be straightforward response. Don't speculate and don't panic. Shift to neutral and or a positive message, and don't shut down, because you have to be available and calm, and you need to get help from somebody that knows how to do this. So there is a media crisis packet at RI that you can actually either download or order. And then external relations, collaborate with other organizations. Like we sometimes collaborate with Lions or Chamber of Commerce. It multiplies the impact of a project. And I'll show you one that we did that used both clubs and the Chamber of Commerce, and it was kind of fun. Okay, you then at this point, you increase your public awareness of Rotary and our activities, and then so you need to develop guidelines, ask a partner to show Rotary and project at their website also. Like I'd like to see them on Chamber of Commerce, and issue joint press releases to inform media about activities in your meetings. So. Okay, so your club runner visual. I believe that Ken sent out a notice to the clubs to make sure that you get the proper branding on your Facebooks and your club runner sites, and you want them to look interesting and people want to know more about them. Ketchikan is filled with a lot of really cool Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian people and totem poles. We have one of the largest totem pole collections in the world. So obviously this is a really cool thing that's right outside our meeting area. And then make sure when people come into your airport or off your ferry that there's a sign. Get your signage up. During my year as president, I took that on, and we have signage most everywhere anymore. So and KRBD, they actually have a Facebook side, but so when we were doing our vocational awards, they honored the Coast Guard. And here's something interesting. It just was put in the paper that the Coast Guard, Ketchikan just became an official Coast Guard city. And I'm just thrilled about that. So I just posted that all over the place. And we also had our veterinarian win one of our vocational awards. And then whenever, this is from Sit News. This was something that we sent pictures on. In fact, these stairs were not completed when we sent this one out, because we have a railing now that goes clear down to the beach, and we got a lot of press out of that. People love getting down to the beach. And then here is another picture of the beach that went all over. This went in the news. It went on all over Facebook. And this is going to appeal to people who love to run chainsaws. Alaskans like to run chainsaws, and a lot of them are women, and a lot of that wood be stacked by women. And then we put out a press release that people could come and get the wood, and it happened to be a particularly cold winter, and that's the rotary wheel that's been up there for years. Okay. Then we have the importance of public image. Show the fun of Rotary and the youth. Interactive KHI supports a school in Tanzania, Africa, and they're building a school and supplying desks. They sell bags, and you can see where the kids were in the classroom putting all their things together. So if people see that high school kids are doing these wonderful things, it also gives them a different public image, because sometimes the youth get into trouble. So this is another one from Ketchikan Daily News. It shows there's a picture of all our Coast Guard people down there to the right, and we invited the public to a Rotary induction of both clubs, the officers. We met Rick King down at Pets, and you can invite all these guys up to your club. I mean, they all want to come to Alaska. And so Rick King, Michelle O'Brien, our DGE invited Rick King, and I actually was there with her. We wanted our picture taken with him, and he says, "Oh, where are you ladies from?" We said, "Oh, Alaska." "Oh, I've always wanted to go to Alaska." Michelle hands him her card. She got a phone call from him, and he came to Ketchikan in 2013, and we had probably 300 or 400 people that came to have lunch and to meet and listen to him speak, because he's really engaging. And we inducted all these people, including the officers, which was really fun. So that can really bring you a lot of notoriety. And of course, we run around town in our duck costumes, because that's one of the things we do. And so people know we have a lot of fun, because we're laughing and giggling, even if our feet are blowing up. And then when your district governor comes to visit, get it out everywhere and take some of the most fun pictures. These kids happen to be our Interact officers and some of our youth exchange kids and our youth exchange officers and our inbounds. Lita just went home. She's in the front. Sarah just got back from Thailand. And of course, there's Dick Sutliff and his lovely wife's page. And then advertising for an event. Obviously, Soul's coming up. I wanted to plug that. The international conference. I mean, who would want to go to that? They actually, if you click on their link and play that, it's you would just die to go there. So, and I love the way that this year's emblem, "Be a Gift to the World," has been inverted. It's open, so it's really cool. And then have newsletters in your club. They could just be pictures, but you'd like to have script too. But sometimes you just put out a page of pictures of people having fun in the club, and that celebrates your members, because your members, it makes them feel good, so they're going to stay in the club. If you feel good about something, why quit? And then check this one out. Who would not want to go to New Orleans? Of course, this is an older picture, but it's a great example. And if you take a look at that rotary wheel, we don't use that rotary wheel anymore. You'll find it around, but that's not the one we use anymore. Okay, so Facebook, keep it current and interesting. Change things up all the time. And we do have it changed up all the time. And I've looked around at a lot of your clubs, and yes, indeed, they do change them up a lot. So it's really exciting to see how everybody's changing, and thankful to the public image group, the district public image group. Ken, I want to give you a shout out, because you guys have been posting. If you want him to post, have his crew post to your Facebook page, make him an administrator on that page, and then he can do that. All right, so questions, folks. I'm going to unmute you, and I'm going to go back. I don't know where I'm going back to. Okay, so questions. Let's see here. I'm going to get up here and unmute everybody. If I can find my, okay, wait a minute here. Oh, I can't unmute. Yeah.
Rosie, Ken has had a couple of comments, and Chuck did too, but maybe we can start with Ken. Can you talk a little bit about what the district public image committee is doing and what you've done and how to reach you? And
so I'm trying to get up here to unmute him, and for some reason this isn't allowing me to use my, here, maybe try this. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to unmute everybody. Okay, there's Ken. Ken's unmuted. Ken, you have the floor.
Well, thank you. Hi, this is Ken, and I'm the Rotary chair of the district PI committee. And, obviously we did quite a bit last year, and we have some new things that we're going to do this year that we're pretty excited about. Probably the top thing that we've been tasked to do is to make sure everyone has the new Rotary logos and branding. So I've sent out a message to each of the clubs. I created a spreadsheet, and anyway, you'll be hearing more about that. And what we have to do is we've been really tasked by international and by zone to update all of our Rotary wheels and logos and branding that, to the new logos and branding. So anyway, and for example, I'm looking on the slides. The slides have to be updated. we want to give them a good example. Because our wheel is the older wheel, and we'll probably get that updated on your slides and my slides because I go out and present too. The second thing is that the Rotary District has the ability to come out and is willing and wants to come out to each club, and we'll present at the club level all things PI, district logos, branding, how to set up, and then just work with each of the clubs at the club level. So all we have to do is be invited out. We've been to a few of the clubs already, but we're willing to do as many clubs as we possibly can within, our constraints of travel and budget. So that's available. The other thing that we're attempting to do this year is we're working hard to see if we can get an article in Rotary International Magazine representing the District 5010. We have a water project that we hope that we'll at least we'll present, and maybe you'll see us in the within the year in the Rotary International Magazine. So we're pretty excited about that. And then the last thing we're doing is we're working much closer with Zone. We are Zone 24 West. We have a new gentleman over there named Sean Hogan, and we're working closely with him. And in fact, I just came on as the assistant zone Rotary PI guy. So I'll be representing our district and really about 5, 6 different states on the West Coast as a PI person from our district. So I'm excited about that. I'll tell you more after I do all the travel. But again, anything that we can do. She did mention one thing is if you guys would like us to promote, and we have budget to promote your postings on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and other social media areas, let us know and make us an admin on your page, and then we'll promote it out of our budget. And instead of getting maybe 30 people or 40 people to see an organic post, you can get 1,500, 2,000, 3,000. It will drive your numbers for individuals who will like your page and will drive participation if you have upcoming events or things that you're attempting to put out into the public realm. So those are just a few of the things. I'm sure there's more. And if you're interested in being a member on the committee, we just meet once a month, and we take care of the website. We take care of course, the district resources and pages. And there is a message I put on there. If you want to send something out to the media, just let me know. I have the list. I have 286 press release contacts, and 287, excuse me, and I have 86 just radio contacts, but a total of a little over 400 between TV, radio, and print. But just let us know, and I'll send you the list, or there's just an Excel spreadsheet that you can cut and paste and DCC in your email and send that out. So unless there's anything else or any questions, very, very good presentation, and just excited for Leadership Academy and working with all the clubs throughout the district.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ken. We're really gifted with your presence. So that was excellent information, and we're looking forward when we have discussion. You guys will be able to direct questions to Ken also in your in your discussions. I am so happy, Ken, that you are taking Leadership Academy, because we wouldn't have you in this course if that was the case. And I know how things have changed since you've been on board in the district, and you've taken our district to higher levels. And so thank you so much. That's terrific. So do we have other people that would like to say something? Ask questions, please. Anything that's not clear what we're doing?
Chuck Foster had a note that he was wondering how the clubs get somebody who is good at taking pictures to do that. Because photos, sometimes, like you said, Rosie, if photos aren't good, then they're kind of worthless, even if you post them. So maybe suggestions on how to find people who take good photos and to get them to do that.
Okay, so Chuck, where are you? What town are you in?
I'm going to unmute, and maybe it won't be too much background noise here, but I'm in Wasilla, the Susitna Club, so the Susitna Valley. And my question had more to do with getting someone to come out and just talk to people who are not photographers about, in a meeting setting, about how to frame and how to, is it better to capture a face or is it better to capture a thing, and how to use colors and how to avoid flare. And in 1 hour you can't teach professional photography, but there are some tips that you can give that can be really useful, so that when we're out with our cell phones taking pictures or maybe videos, they're more attractive than they would be otherwise.
Well, that's an excellent opportunity for you to bring in a speaker who's an expert. And I do a lot of photography. I've studied it in school. You guys have probably figured out I'm really into it. But if you look at my Facebook page, there are simple rules and there's simple ways to make sure you get your light at your back. And I'm not going to go through it all, but you could bring in any professional, and I would probably get somebody that teaches in a high school or university to come out and give a nuts and bolts thing. And maybe you could even have everybody bring their cell phones, and maybe they could set up and have everybody take a picture. And everybody's taking great pictures. The iPhones, the Samsungs. A lot of people don't even use the regular cameras anymore. I'm probably one of the few that brings this big old heavy lens around, but I do know I get better pictures from that, but not always. So I suggest you guys are in an area where there's got to be a lot of really good photographers out there. In fact, we have Rotarians that are great photographers. Maybe they'd like to come in and do something. You're just going to have to find out who they are in your area.
Chuck, Dan Kennedy teaches at the Matsu Valley College, and I don't know if they have a photography group there or not, but you might contact him and see if he knows somebody at the college that would do that for you. That's close.
That's a great idea, Diane. And Dan loves to help people too. And the other thing is, maybe you could get somebody from the news to join your club, or to be a close liaison, a friend of the club or something, and get the information to them. They could write it. But people have learned to write. People that run businesses, etc. I'm hoping they've all learned to write, because I was an English teacher for 35 years. So anyway, other questions? Those are great comments and questions. Anybody else?
Rosie, this is Wayne.
Yeah. Hi.
Can you send these slides to us in a format that we could use periodically for the club meeting too?
Well, I can do that. I'm going to try to. Unfortunately, I use such large pictures in this that somebody needs. I maybe have a friend that can help me compress this, and then I can send it to you.
Okay.
I am, however. And Ken, thank you very much. I will go through and change all these wheels. That's for sure. The little wheels he's talking about. You see how it says Rotary and then the wheel, and then the one over to the right kind of looks the same. That is one that shows through the color from the back, but I think that I might be able to find a better one than that one, so that it's really clear. And I'll try really hard. I'll get it out to you guys as soon as I can. I have a friend that knows how to do all this, and I know, Ken, if you were here, you'd help me do this. But
Rosie, you might just be able to upload it to Open Class too. I did that for the membership one.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right, I'll try that. I tried doing it to Google Docs, and it was too big to go in there. So anyway, so I will work on that. I can do that. So any other questions?
Yeah, just a real quick one on the slides. You do one or two things that I always do is, number one, I put all my slides in the slide share, and then I can have a link there. And then the other one is just to drop it into Dropbox, and then you right-click the slide presentation, and you ask for the link, and then you just send people the link. And it'll just go straight to the Dropbox, and they can use it, utilize it, take it off, put it on their desktop. So either SlideShare or Dropbox That way you don't have to compress it or anything.
Oh, perfect. Because you know when you compress, you know what happens. Things get distorted a little bit. Sometimes the words get thrown around. Um, but yeah, so if you want to send me private messages, Ken, about what I can do to improve this a little bit, and feel welcome to use this anywhere you want, you guys. So, all right. Any other questions? I love this. Is that it? Okay, well, I just want to thank everybody for attending, and those of you that couldn't make it, thank you for calling and telling me you couldn't make it. And we will get this put up on our public image site for you to see and use. And I wish you the best of luck. And anybody that's going into leadership or is in leadership, I know this is going to be so valuable to you. And you know, I do want to tell you this. If you're the president, you don't have to be the person that does all this, but you should check and make sure they're doing it correctly, because you will know at the end of this, why it's important. So, all righty. So I'm finished. I'm going to stop the recording.